I now call this meeting of the Norwood City Council to order. All rise. Pledge of allegiance. Ms. Lynn, would you like to lead us in a prayer?
Certainly will. Our Father, who art in heaven, is the body we congregate in these council chambers. We pray for thy divine guidance, that we may do all things well, according to thy holy will. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Braden? Here. Mr. Clark? Here. Mr. Whittington? Here. Ms. Allen?
Here.
Mr. Thornbury?
Here.
Mr. Sanker?
Here.
Mr. Mumper?
Here.
All members present. That's not all members present. Yeah. We have a quorum. We have no minutes of previous meetings, if I'm correct, yes. We do have requests to address, oh no, I'm sorry, we do not have, but we do have a request.
We need to amend the agenda first.
Oh, I'm sorry. We need to amend the agenda to, let's see, we're adding a,
The Trex form.
oh, the Trex form, yes. We're adding the consideration of a Trex form from the state, Ohio Division of Liquor Control regarding tumbleweed restaurants, a request for a liquor license is to be added to the agenda. And
For Cancun?
for the Cancun restaurant, right? Oh, that's right, Tumbleweed is the one selling it, isn't it?
No.
No, Tumbleweed is they're the ones. Capulan is the one selling it. Okay, just want to make sure. We have a request to address council that will be added to other requests to address council, and we will also be discussing the tax budget that will need to be considered that we will talk about in new business. Do I have a motion to accept the changes? Mr. Clark?
So moved.
Seconded by Mr. Bumper. Call the roll.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornbury?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
Yes.
Mr. Mumper?
Yes.
All members present voting yes. The agenda is so amended. We have no minutes of previous meetings to consider. We've already mentioned the request to address council on new business.
An agenda item, so.
No, Margaret is not.
Oh, she's not?
She's withdrawn her, and she's even left the room.
Okay.
She has withdrawn her request. And we have no reports of standing committees to consider either. And no third or second readings of ordinances. So we move directly to introductory readings of ordinances. The first is an ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service Safety to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for the Beach Street Improvements Project, the Ohio Public Works Commission project number CB03S and CB04S within the city of Norwood, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Do I have a motion? Mr. Mumper.
I move we suspend the rules, have all three readings.
Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Clark. The motion is to suspend the rule and have all three readings. Please call the roll.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornbury?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
Yes.
Mr. Mumper?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously. Please have all three readings of the ordinance. Please.
Ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service Safety to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for the Beach Street Improvement Project, Ohio Public Works Commission project number CB03S/CB04S within the city of Norwood, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service Safety to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for the Beach Street Improvement Project, Ohio Public Works Commission project number CB03S/CB04S within the city of Norwood, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service Safety to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for the Beach Street Improvement Project, Ohio Public Works Commission, project number CB03S/CB04S, within the city of Norwood, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Do we have a motion to approve the ordinance? First, motion by Mr. Clark, a second. Second by Mr. Braden. Is there any discussion? No discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornberry?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
Yes.
Mr. Lumper?
Yes.
All members voting yes, the ordinance passes. We'll move to our second ordinance on the introductory readings of ordinances. An ordinance approving the use of a portion of Lower Millcrest Park for the construction of the Sherman Avenue Trail extension connecting with the Wasson Way bicycle path and authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into any agreements necessary for such a project. Do I have a motion? Ms. Allen?
I move that we have an emergency and do all three readings. There's that
Second. You have to ask
suspend the rules.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You have to speak up. I didn't.
Sorry, I move that we suspend the rules and have all three readings.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Mr. Braden. Is there any discussion? Mr. Sanker?
Yes, sir. I believe, is there somebody here from the Wasson Way project that wanted to give an update on where this proposed stretch is going to be? And if so, would they like to come forward and give us a little update on it?
Yes, I understand we have Melissa McVeigh from the City of Cincinnati here to talk about this. Ms. McVeigh, would you like to step to the microphone and, as Mr. Sanker said, give us a little update? You state your name and where you live and all that.
My name is Melissa McVeigh. I'm with the City of Cincinnati Transportation Department. I am the project manager for the Wasson Way Trail, and I'm also the person in charge of developing the city's federal Tiger Grant application. As I was looking at that alignment, it struck me that there was a lot of open space along Victory Parkway, around Dana Avenue, going both north and south. And I started looking at that, digging in a little deeper, and realized that there might be space to actually extend that trail network both north and south. And the more we looked at it, the farther north we were able to go, and we think we'll actually be able to get it all the way up through Lower Millcrest Park, which would be very exciting. So we're hoping to include that in our Tiger Grant application. As such, if we were awarded funding, we would receive 80% of that funding from the federal government, and then the nonprofit Wasson Way organization has graciously offered to fundraise the local match for that, so there would be no cost to the city of Norwood. And we think it would be a great connection north. It extends the trail and opens it up to, thousands of more people, so we think it's really exciting.
Very good. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. McVeigh? Mr. Sanker?
Yes, just in looking at the map, this will entail part of Lower Millcrest Park and actually kind of wind up at the park area down by Sherman Avenue, the Lower Sherman Avenue, and where it kind of winds around down there. So that would be the section of Millcrest Park close to Victory Parkway, and then ending up around Sherman Avenue by reading the map.
Yes, that is correct. I think it's Osmond to Sherman.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes, does that end down there at that parking lot at Sherman Avenue? Is that or does that continue somewhere else? Or?
For now, that would be the ending point to the north.
That's the ending point.
We're trying not to get too far ahead of ourselves with planning this out, given how many miles there are to do. But it's exciting. We're looking at how we might be able to continue to extend that north, maybe along old railroad right-of-way that's no longer being used, or through some parkland. But for now, we're trying to just focus on the piece that we think is pretty, I don't want to say easy, but easier. It looks like we have a relatively clear path between property that Cincinnati owns, Norwood owns, Park District, Recreation. We think we can get that far. And so that's, I sort of had to pick an ending point for the grant in terms of just being able to get the work done before early June. So for now, that would be the ending point. But in the near future, I think the next piece that we would apply for, we would try to continue going north or east and west from there.
Ms. Allen?
Yes. What is the time frame for the Tiger grant? So you apply in early June, you said, and then when?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the application is due on June 5th. They haven't announced when they will make the decisions yet, but last year it was in October, I believe. So it's struck me over the last few years, it's usually about 6 to 9 months after you apply. If for some reason we are unsuccessful with that, it is a very competitive grant process. We will continue to apply for smaller grants and just build it piece by piece if we have to. So there are several grants available to us through Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana Regional Council of Governments and through the state. So our goal is to just continue piece by piece, inch by inch if we have to, so we get it built.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
The motion on the floor is to suspend the rules and have all 3 readings. Is there any discussion regarding that? No discussion? Then move to call the roll on the motion to suspend the rules.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornberry?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
Yes.
Mr. Mumper?
Yes.
All members voting yes, the motion has passed. Please have all 3 readings.
An ordinance approving the use of a portion of Lower Millcrest Park for the construction of the Sherman Avenue Trail Extension connecting with the Wasson Way bicycle path and authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into any agreements necessary for such project. An ordinance approving the use of a portion of Lower Millcrest Park for the construction of the Sherman Avenue Trail Extension connecting with the Wasson Way bicycle path and authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into any agreements necessary for such project. An ordinance approving the use of a portion of Lower Millcrest Park for the construction of the Sherman Avenue Trail Extension connecting with the Wasson Way bicycle path and authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into any agreements necessary for such project.
Do I have a motion, Mr. Clark?
I move that the ordinance be passed.
Do we have a second? Ms. Allen, seconded by Ms. Allen. Please call the roll. Yeah, I'm sorry, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornberry?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mumper?
Yes.
All members voting yes, the motion carries, the ordinance passes. We have no introductory readings of resolutions on the agenda tonight, so we do not have any administration reports. So at this point, we'll move to other requests to address council. We have full names here somewhere. There we go. We have Cindy Zerwick and Jeff Jorling to address council in 4163 Forest Avenue regarding street safety.
We're back.
Just for the heck of it, give us your names and addresses and all that sort of stuff.
I'm Cindy Zerwick. I live at 4163 Forest Avenue.
And Jeff Jorling, same address.
I didn't want you to forget about us, but it's been 1 month since we sent our first email in regards to the speeding traffic down Forest Avenue. I've spoken with a few members of City Council in regards to the speeding on Forest. I still have not had a response from the mayor or the safety director. I have left him multiple voicemails, and I'm not going to give up. When I was growing up, if there were kids on the street, there was always a 4-way stop sign at intersections. It wasn't perfect, but it definitely helped slow down the traffic of the speeding drivers down our street. My husband echoed the exact same sentiments of the neighborhood he grew up in, East Hyde Park. On Wednesday, May 6, at 2015, at 8:05 p.m., I recorded a man on a motorcycle speeding 71 miles an hour down Forest Avenue from Smith to Williams. My neighbors across the street, Jessica and Colin McDowell, who have a 10-month-old daughter who I actually spoke about 2 weeks ago at the meeting, heard the motorcycle as well. Jessica came out, talked to me, and said, "That was it. I'm contacting our realtor. We're going to be looking to sell our house." It's too easy to speed down Forest Avenue between Smith and Williams. It's a straight half mile, no curves, no bumps, and no stop signs. A traffic study done many years ago also agreed that a stop sign would help slow down speeders, but to this date, not one thing has been done. In the 2 weeks since our last meeting, I have a radar gun. I don't have a heck of a lot of time, but in about a 2-hour sampling over the 2 weeks since I've been here, I've recorded speeds of 71, 62 twice, 60, 59 twice, 54, 52, 50, 48 3 times, 46 6 times, 40 to 45 28 times, 35 to 40 25 times, and 25 to 35 12 times, with 25 being the actual speed limit down our street. Our question tonight is basically the same as the last time we were here, is Norwood willing to work with us in helping to slow down the speed of traffic down Forest Avenue? We need a stop sign. We want our speed limit actually posted on our street, and we want our no-through truck sign posted back up. Last night, Monday night, 5/11/15 at 7:31 p.m., a United Dairy Farmers gas tanker truck drove down our street, which was supposed to be, used to have the no-through truck street. And it was actually driving well over the speed limit. We want to know why there's other neighborhoods in Norwood that have their speed limit signs up, the no-through truck signs up, and 4 stop signs at intersections are the norm. We're taxpayers, and we think we're just as important as the people in those neighborhoods. We want to stay in Norwood. We want to see Norwood compete for home buyers looking in Hyde Park and Oakley. We need Norwood to act like they care. Again, we just want to know why. And finally, we have a request. We'd like to know of every stop sign that has been put up in Norwood in the last 30 years. I'm sure you guys keep records of that. And we'd like to know the number of traffic studies that accompanied each of those stop signs.
And the reason we asked that question is because we think this stop sign is the only one that's ever had a traffic study done for it. Has anyone ever heard of a traffic study done for another stop sign in Norwood? John?
Just to comment, I know we've taken down red lights, signals in my neighborhood, and we've taken down stop signs.
Taken down, but
Yes.
not put up.
And I never asked about traffic studies.
I don't think anybody's had a traffic study. That's what I'm saying. It seemed this was a very unusual.
But I will now.
We were told that the mayor refused to put up the stop sign before the traffic study was done.
Well, I think I've been told over the years there's a liability issue when you put a stop sign up that needs to be addressed.
Well, there's a liability issue when you don't put one up, too.
True.
Sunday, and this is just an aside, but Sunday we were talking to our neighbor. We had come home, and we saw a near miss that would have been a horrific. Someone coming down for us was easily 50 miles an hour, and someone going across did make it across, but was close to being hit. And it's just, it's hard to be there. The speed is incredible coming down Forest Avenue. Again, and right there, as we said last time we were here, at the intersection of Madison, the streets both come in right here, and they're both going the fastest as you possibly can, right at that intersection.
Just another comment.
Sure.
I joke about my street having speed holes on it to keep people from speeding, but it doesn't keep
the bumps.
It doesn't keep anybody from speeding. My street's in terrible shape. There's no curbs in a lot of places, and people speed up and down my street. When my kids were little, which is quite a few years ago, I used to be out front playing ball with the kids on the sidewalk, tossing, and I'd just take a bat with me. We weren't batting. And I'd go out in the middle of the street and wave the bat at the cars. And I had a neighbor that was a cop. He says, "You're going to get hit."
Well, I posted a ton of...
I didn't have a speed gun.
homemade speed signs that seem to be taken down every time I put them up, but I've put a ton of 25-mile, slow down, it's 25 miles an hour, I'm not going to...
And they actually work.
They actually work. I had my one neighbor sits on his porch, from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m., and he said they really slowed down traffic a lot. But I posted the one Sunday. I had it. I was just watching people. Like I said, we've lived there a long time, and it has changed dramatically. The amount has increased, but the speed is just crazy. I never thought I'd be sitting, with a radar gun.
Perfect solution.
I agree with you. It's a long stretch of street
wide street.
without a stop sign.
And it's wide.
So somewhere there needs to be a stop sign.
Something.
Plus, there's a school on the
I
street,
would
which
agree
is
with
is
that.
insane. You know, there's a
You just need to break it up, you know? You have to put a stop sign there so they have to stop, so they can only go 45 instead of 60.
I used to have a son who lived on Hudson Avenue, which is on the other side of Williams, and I'd visit him from coming down from my street in North Norwood, and myself, boy, how fast am I going?
My neighbor said
Yeah,
the same
of
thing.
course. Yeah,
She
you almost-
lives
it's
on,
hard to go 25.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. She said, I catch myself speeding down your street all the time.
I catch myself speeding down the street.
I don't,
So-
because I actually put up my cruise
But
control.
I'll
to try to make
advertise to
sure.
myself going
Yes.
35.
It's easy to do. It's
Yeah.
very easy to do.
Yeah.
But we just are coming back because we want you to know we're serious about this. We'd like something to be done.
Mr. Whittington, do you have a
It's not a big.
Yes, last year we had a problem on Ralston Avenue. Are you familiar with Ralston
know,
Avenue?
I
know.
And there was
on
a
the other
lot of
side.
people speeding down through Ralston Avenue, and there's not a lot of stop signs there. And we put the trailer with the radar attachment on it, set it down there. Have you seen any of that?
That's been on our street 3 times in the last 5 years.
It works the minute
It works-
there,
it
then it
works
comes
when it's there,
out.
and then they
So
take
if
it
the
down.
police, have you had a police presence, or?
We did,
Every once in a
occasionally
while,
we
yes.
do, and, you know, seeing a police car sitting there will obviously slow down drivers, but it would have to be 20.
The problem is they're usually not there when the traffic is the most, is generally rush hour. More,
Yeah.
8 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock at night. Usually you'll see the cop, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, it
that's
seems
probably
to
when
be-
they have time to do it, but
Right.
there's
It
not
seems to be
near as
when
much
it's their
traffic.
slower hours, but it's, yeah, we've had that traffic radar giant sign up, and it's
We've
always,
talked to policemen who put the sign up, and they're like,
I had a conversation with the last one was up, and the policeman shook his head, he goes, it works while it's up. And he said, right where the sign is, you know, people come down, they see it, and you can see it in the distance, and then before it's
Yeah.
recorded your speed, I mean, that's human nature, but, it's just, it's gotten crazy, and the guy who's doing the 70-plus miles an hour on his motorcycle, we're not sure who it is, but he's been down our street multiple
yeah,
times.
that's a normal more than weekly occurrence.
Starts down at Smith and bears down, puts his head down, and he goes, and doesn't hesitate at Madison or Jefferson. So anyway, we're not giving up. We want you to know that we're serious, and like I said, we want to stay in Norwood, but we want to feel safe in our home. And
There are actually a lot of kids on our street.
a lot of kids on our street.
So anything you can do to help?
Unfinished business? Any unfinished business that anyone would like to bring up? No unfinished business. Under new business, is there any new business anyone wants to discuss? Mr. Sanker?
Yes, just a couple updates on, we already did the Beach Street, so we'll get those bids out to get that taken care of. That's been in the process for a few years now. That project, the grant money that was awarded to us will help go a long way for that over there. Then also, they're out beginning to start painting the streets. Slow people down yet, but that's as far as the lines and the crosswalks and that, they're in the process of getting that started now with the weather breaking. And then the last thing, unless somebody else said something, I just, Norwood Recreation are right now selling pool passes for this year for down at Waterworks, and the passes are available now in the pool. I believe is opening, the 29th, I believe, of this month. It's towards the end of the month, so get the passes now and be ready to go when that comes about. But the pool will be opening by the end of the month, and the passes are available by calling the Norwood Recreation Commission office.
Any other new business? We have a need to address the tax budget. I want to pass this announcement on to Donna, who's acting as Ms. Lake, who's acting as Mayor Pro Tem.
I received a call today from Jim Stiff. As you know, we have to have our tax budget down to the county by the end of June. He has asked that, Mr. Stiff has asked that we set the date of the public hearing for the first meeting in June, for June the 9th. We double-checked, and there's only a 10-day notice that has to be given. Normally, in the past, we sometimes have to give 30-day notices, but according to the state auditor, we have to give just a 10-day notice, so that would be 28 days from today. He told me that he would have the tax budget available by the end of the week, or the first part of next week, available in his office, and as well as the clerk of council's office. And then if we set the date of that public hearing for June the 9th, that'll give you a few weeks to answer any questions at the next meeting if there are questions about that budget, tax budget.
Do we have a motion to have the meeting as stated? Mr. Sanker.
Yes, sir, I would make a motion that we set a public hearing to discuss the tax budget for 2016 at the June 9th regular meeting of council.
Seconded by Mr. Mumper. Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, call the roll, please.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornberry?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mumper?
Yes.
All members voting yes, the motion carries. Next are communications. We have a letter from Chuck Barlow regarding the monthly earnings tax report.
To Norwood City Council from Chuck Barlow, Earnings Tax Department. 4/29/2015, RE Monthly Earnings Tax Report. Attached is the monthly report for March 2015, indicating collections in the amount of $1,255,832.79. This reflects an average year-to-date increase of 9.4% from 2014. Should you have any questions, please contact the Earnings Tax Department.
Do I have a motion to accept the letter? Mr. Clark?
Yes,
Second by Mr. Mumper. Call the roll.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornberry?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
Yes.
Mr. Mumper?
Yes.
All members voting yes, the motion carries. Our second item on the agenda in communications is a letter from the Office of the Mayor regarding Mayor's Court's fines.
Ms. Donna M. Lake, President, and members of Norwood City Council, Norwood City Hall. RE Mayor's Court fines. Dear Madam President and members of Council, enclosed, please find the report for Norwood Mayor's Court for the month of April 2015. Should you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Sincerely, Thomas F. Williams, Mayor, City of Norwood.
Do we have a motion to accept the report? Mr. Braden?
I move we accept the letter filed.
Second by Mr. Clark. Call the roll.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornberry?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
Yes.
Mr. Mumper?
Yes.
All members voting yes, the motion carries. The third item of communication which was added to the agenda is the notice to legislative authority regarding the liquor license for Cancun restaurants. How much of this do we have to read? Do we have a motion? Mr. Mumper?
I move we allow the transfer of the truck's license since we've already had that go through a committee, and that we not object.
Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Braden. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornberry?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
No.
Mr. Mumper?
Yes.
That was 6 to 1 in favor. The motion carries. I guess that does it. We have no other communications. We have no absent members. Mr. Clark?
I move that we adjourn.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Braden. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Braden?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Whittington?
Yes.
Ms. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Thornberry?
Yes.
Mr. Sanker?
Yes.
Mr. Mumper?
Yes.
All members present voting yes. We are adjourned.